The people of Georgetown did not show up, rightfully so, because they didn't want more of that negative rhetoric. APNU supporters are sensible people. In spite of the propaganda that they're subjected to every day, propaganda that was repeated at the launch, they've been making their own assessment of APNU, the PPP, and other political forces in the country. And if you're a young person, even an APNU supporter, what would you get from going to an APNU rally except more rhetoric about love for young people and a bunch of negative things that try to paint you as a victim, and therefore you can only make progress if Norton or the APNU is in power. I believe that the low turnout was reflective of a number of things. First is that Nigel Hughes and the AFC saying that Norton is unelectable. They did their polls and people are not excited about him as a leader. They believe, and these are many APNU supporters, and rightfully so, believe he does not have the leadership qualities necessary to plan and implement a set of programs, policies, and projects that will improve their lives. He's very good on the abuse, but he's not good. He doesn't have the leadership qualities to lead. And AFC did that poll, and they said it openly. He's unelectable, and that's why they did not want him to head a potential coalition. It wasn't the PPP that said that. It was the AFC. But this is the prevailing sentiment in the APNU stronghold and among many people, and I believe rightfully so. Secondly, I believe that the reason for the low turnout is his wholehearted embrace of the 2015-2020 disastrous policies of the last government. He didn't distance himself from them betraying young people. He is making excuses for it. He didn't distance himself from the policies that led to the loss of thousands of jobs after promising young people and others jobs. He didn't distance himself from them taking away the children's grant or increasing taxation, putting 200+ taxes on people. He embraced it. And the entire APNU AFC camp now embrace that legacy. So what do people expect? More of the same? What are they going to expect? You can say anything, but if you think you did so great when we lost jobs, there was no money in circulation, the children lost their grant, you burden us with taxes. If you think you are doing so great, then that's the bar, that's the standard by which you judge yourselves. Then you have nothing to offer in this country. You can't lead the country because you have such low standards and a low bar of achievement. And so people remember the 5 years. People in Georgetown remember the 5 years. People in New Amsterdam remember those 5 years. People in Linden, that's why when they showed up there to try to mobilize people to come, they said no. And a lot of the like on the Essequibo Coast, a lot of those people are farmers too. Afro-Guyanese and APNU supporters are farmers too. And they remember when they had to pay higher taxes on machinery and equipment, or their pesticides or fertilizer, or their land and water charges. And the miners too. Remember that when all the taxes went up, tributers tax, royalty rate went up, the VAT on machinery and equipment, they remember it. So that was one of the reasons why people didn't want to go there. The third reason, I believe, is that the refusal to apologize to the country and to their own supporters for lying to them. Norton continues to defend that lie. At the last press conference, I think last Thursday, when asked by a reporter about what the vice chairman of Region 4 said, that he was keeping records of the SOPs and that the numbers being announced by Mingo for Region 4 were false, fraudulent numbers. Norton just shut it down basically by diverting attention to some 40 boxes, he said, that didn't have the documents in them in the recount, when we know why that happened, because Mingo gave instructions to those people not to put some of the documents in the boxes. It had nothing to do with the signed SOPs that their polling agents signed to. So rather than addressing the issue, he just obfuscated it. He just sidetracked it. And his refusal to acknowledge this is something that makes him less trustworthy. Not that he was trustworthy to begin with, but it even makes him even more untrustworthy. And how can you trust somebody who will lie to you so blatantly? And I'm not talking about PPP supporters. I'm talking about his own supporters. They've been telling people all the time, mobilizing them, trying to bring them on the street to support a lie and to support a falsehood. So those are three reasons why I think that you had people assessing for themselves about whether to go there and listen to a slew of negatives or to stay away from that engagement. The fourth reason is also in the last 5 years under the PPP, they have seen the country moving forward. More people are working, and you're going to see this in our manifesto elsewhere. And anyone can testify to that. You have 60, 70,000 people more working than who didn't have jobs in 2020 are working now. You've seen massive investment in infrastructure, not just hospitals, over 100 schools and roads and everything else, playgrounds, recreational facilities, everything. You've seen changes in the country. You've seen a lot more people, Indo-Guyanese, Amerindians benefiting, and Afro-Guyanese, and mixed people, everybody, the whole of Guyana, benefiting more. In their communities, almost no community has been excluded. The Amerindian communities have seen a resumption of development in those areas. The Berbice and Essequibo have all seen support for industries like the rice industry or sugar back again. The miners have seen support. Every group has been touched. Young people feel included. I look at the number of contractors that now are getting contracts, and a good 60% of them are young people. And it's thousands. Largely because we changed the way contracts are awarded, and we now do it through award based on rates, because if those people had to bid, only a few people would have gotten contract. So people have seen this, and that's a fourth reason why people are staying away.